Hi, I'm Sam, one of your academic advisors. I want to show you how you can use the engineering flowcharts to plan your classes for your first semester and for future semesters as well. So if this is your first time looking at one of the engineering flowcharts, it's quite a lot to take in. There are boxes everywhere, lines in all directions, different colors. I promise though, this makes sense, and we're going to go ahead and break it down so that you can start using this as an effective tool. So the first thing you'll notice when you look at these is all of the boxes. These represent degree required courses. So any course shown on here is something you must take to complete your degree. And you'll notice that I'm using the civil engineering flowchart here. We have a flowchart for every engineering major, and the good news is they all function the same. So if you can read one of the flowcharts, you can read all of them. So we'll just stick with the civil engineering for this example. One other thing you might notice is that the flowchart is divided into 4 years. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each year has 2 rows of classes. The top row are typically taken in the fall semester, and the bottom row are typically taken in the spring semester. So let's take a closer look at some of these classes. So right here, we have Calculus 1. You can see the title of the class in the lower half of the box, the abbreviation and course numbers in the upper half, so this is MA 171. And then this number in the bubble in the upper right corner is how many credit hours the course has. So Calculus 1 is 4 credit hours, Charge for Success is 1 credit hour, and Computing for Engineers is 3 credit hours. Now, if you're starting in a pre-calculus course, I actually recommend that you just stick with the 4-year suggested schedule for right now. And then once you get to Calculus 1, meet with your advisor and we'll walk you through how to use this flowchart to plan for your upcoming classes. So an important thing to know here is these lines. They represent prerequisites. So the easiest example, Calculus 1 is a prerequisite for Calculus 2. You have to finish 1 before you can start 2. Calculus 1 is a prerequisite for a couple of other courses as well, though. So we can see that this arrow goes to Physics 1. You have to finish Calculus 1 before you can take Physics 1. And we also have an arrow going all the way down here to Transportation Engineering Design. So this course also has Calculus 1 as a prerequisite. Actually, this course has 2 prerequisites. So we can look at this other line and follow it back up here to see that surveying is a prerequisite as well. If a course has multiple prerequisites, and many do, you'll have to complete all of the prerequisites before you can take that course. So one other important thing to note, some of the lines are dotted. What this means is that it is a prerequisite with concurrency. So with this example here, the arrow is coming from Calculus 3 to Statics. This means that you could take Statics after Calculus 3 or in the same semester, but you can't take it before Calculus 3. One other important thing to note is that the courses that have a dark gray color in their under half are only offered once per year. So Charge for Success is only offered in fall semesters because it's on the upper row of its year. So most of you will be taking Charge for Success this semester if you're not an honor student. If you're starting in the spring, you'll take Charge for Success in your first fall semester after the spring. Here's another example. Surveying is also only offered in the fall, again because it's in the upper row. So when we have a course further down the flowchart that's only offered once per year, we want to make sure you're getting your prerequisites done on time. Because if you miss this course the first time you're eligible to take it, you'll have to wait a whole year before you could take it again. And that might push some things back. So maybe you already have some courses completed. Maybe you have AP or dual enrollment credit for Calculus 1. In that case, you're probably not just going to take the top row of classes here. We'll have to find a substitution for what you already have completed. So let's say that Calculus 1 is finished. Well, you have a few options. We can see that Calculus 2 is now open because you have its prerequisite finished. Physics 1 is open as well, or you could also take one of these electives. The light gray courses with HSBS/HFA on the front are your liberal arts electives. You'll have 6 of these in total, and they can be taken at any time. Most of them have no prerequisites. So this would be a good option to substitute in this semester. Or maybe later on down the road, if you have a semester where you've hit a bottleneck because you've taken all of the prerequisites you're eligible to take, this is a good thing to fill in. We've just placed them here because this represents an efficient pathway through your degree where you're hitting all of the prerequisites on time. So if you don't have any classes coming in, I recommend sticking with the order here. But if you do have some classes completed, you'll be able to see what substitutions you're eligible to make. Okay, so that's the basics of reading the flowchart. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your advisor. And we recommend that you come back to the flowchart each semester so you can start planning ahead for your next semester.